Good evening, everyone. I hope you're all well. There's a bit of a rave there, wasn't it? I don't even know what I put on. It was just the last thing I was listening to. It must have been when I was out running yesterday. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that little bit of an intro to get you all nice and woken up. So thank you very much for joining me this evening. My name is Annette Matthews. We are here this evening talking on behalf of Shop Beautiful, and we are covering, and I've got a little cat that's come to see me. This happens every webinar that I have. I'm not in my clinic, that's a virtual background, and this is Hugo, who likes to come and say hello. Every time I start on the camera, he jumps on. He's infamous. Okay, so we're covering this evening anti-aging workshop featuring NutraKOS. Okay, I'm really excited. Those of you that may have been on my webinars before, yes, I am talking about products. Yes, I am talking about these brands on behalf of Shop Beautiful. But what I want you to know is that I am a clinician. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself in a moment. I do only become an advocate for products that I know and that I'm happy and confident on, recommending and referring use of. And what I pride myself in more than anything is actually knowing the ins and outs of how these products are working. So this evening, we are going to cover the NutraKOS range, but we are more than anything going to be covering the process of aging and how, what happens when we age, what happens to our skin, our collagen, our elastin stores, and the fundamentals that we need to have in place to understand how our range is actually going to work, because that's more important, okay? Because I know there's so many out there for us to choose from. And, even in a day alone, you can probably watch 3 or 4 different webinars at the minute on different brands. So even though this is, sponsored on behalf of Shop Beautiful, we are here this evening for education around the aging process. Okay. So a little bit of housekeeping. If you have any questions, please do pop them in the Q&A box for me. It's an easier thing for me to keep an eye on, but if you do want to pop anything in the chat, then you can do as well. There are going to be a few polls, so there's going to be some questions to answer, and it will be via like a poll selection. You'll see it pop up on your screen. If you really struggle, then you just pop that in the chat box for me, but I like to make it interactive so that you guys are taking on board what I'm talking about as well. I think that is everything. There's no planned fire alarms. There's no, well, my husband's cooking shortly, so there might be a smoke alarm or 2 that goes off. But other than that, we should be okay if the cat doesn't come back in as well. Okay, so you got me for about the next hour. Give or take some questions at the end as well. All right. Fabulous. I know some of you might have attended the NutraKOS workshop last week. There are a few tweaks and changes to it, but fundamentally we are covering very similar things. However, that said, there is always new nuggets that you can take away from this. So do stay tuned in if you have if you've visited this one already. So the aims and objectives of this evening, we're going to identify and recap the anatomy and the function of the skin. This is so important to me that you guys really understand how the skin is going to function and how these products work in coalition with what we're going to be recommending and how they work in coalition with the skin. It's so important. When we have a good understanding behind this, it's a much easier way to have that conversation with our clients and ethically push these products forward as well. We're also going to identify ways to improve and prevent aging skin. Every single one of us will have ailments and concerns about our skin, as will our patients and peers that are out there as well. So if we have a variety of products available to them and options to them, and we understand how they work, we're going to get even better results with that as well. We're going to explore the impacts of amino acids on our skin. So this is where it gets a little bit scary, brain scary, but we're good. We're all right. Hopefully you've got a drink. I've got 2. I've got a water. There we go. And I have a green tea this evening. So I am well hydrated. So I hope all of you guys have got a drink and you're nice and comfortable as well. We're also going to cover, which is important, both home care and professional considerations. So I've been, I've always been an advocate for home care, but I really have seen a massive difference and an uptake in more home care in recent months. Obviously, that there's one reason why, and that's the fact that we can't do these face-to-face treatments. But my clients have really got on board and understand that, what, Annette's actually right. What home care she's recommending has made a difference, because I've not seen her for any treatments and I'm really noticing a difference with my skin. So when they do come for treatments and professional treatments, the results are going to be even better. So they're actually getting on board with that a little bit better. So we can utilize this rubbish time, as rubbish as it is, to our best advantage and make sure that we really are engaging with our clients. We're educating our clients. We're educating ourselves like you are this evening, but then you're going to be able to use that. You're going to use some of this evening as content to move forward with and actually help your clients understand how and why their skin is aging as well. Okay. So, oh, there we go. This is where I forget I've put the fancy modern things in. Well, it's not that modern fancy really, is it? Let's be honest. It's just a circle that moves, but I forgot to press the button. This is live, folks. Bear with me. Right, so this time last week, it was a couple of weeks ago actually, we had a competition which was amazing. I was literally blown away the amount of entries. All you have to do to enter this evening is post and tag us in your attendance this evening. I have seen some sneaky squirrels that have already done this, which is amazing. So obviously, you know, if you pop us on your story, if you pop it on your Instagram, on your Facebook, on your clinic page, whatever it is, just get it out there. The reason being, obviously, we're wanting to try and obviously promote the NutraKOS brand and the Shop Beautiful side of things. But you know what, it's to show your potential clients and clients that you currently have that you are accessing and engaging in education during this time as well. So there's even more things that you're going to be offering to them when you reopen your doors as well. And not even that, you can even offer these things whilst you're still closed. Okay, so these are sort of things you can upsell. You can learn a little bit more about the treatments and the home care, and then you can hopefully educate them as to why, you know, to give it a go and try. There are going to be some samples available of these products, I was told. Hopefully I'm right. So if you are wanting sampling, then you can contact Shop Beautiful for that. And sampling is a really, really good way to ethically and help upsell your products as well from experience. So in order to win, there's one winner that's going to be chosen at random, probably be this time tomorrow by the time I get worked out to do it. But anybody that tags us this evening, the Shop Beautiful UK, NutraKOS UK, and then myself, Skin Smile Success. I look forward to seeing them all. I can already see my phone flashing up, which is amazing. And I will try to like, share, and obviously comment on all of them. But they'll all go into a live draw, and I'll announce the winner tomorrow. And you will win a full conclusive NutraKOS skin kit to see for yourself, just exactly what I'm waffling on about this evening. So do get engaged with that. So a little bit about me, and just going to kind of throw a question out to the group, really. I am Annette Matthews. This is my clinic in the background here. It doesn't look like this now. I'm renovating at the minute, and it is literally just like a bomb site at the moment. But my history, I am a dental professional, dental hygienist, dental therapist. Prior to that, I was a dental nurse. Prior to that, I did beauty therapy for a little while as well. So I've kind of worked my way through. I still do dentistry one day a week, but primarily my focus and love is on skin care and prevention and cosmetic medicine. I start a master's next month and I'm absolutely breaking it, but I'm very, very excited about it as well. And that's on cosmetic skin aging. So lots and lots to learn. I think it's important for me to note at this point for you guys, I'm not here because I know everything. If there's something I don't know, I will be honest about that and I'll find out the answer for you. What I'm here for is because I found things that are working for me and I want to share that with everybody else. And I've also found ways of doing things differently that has helped, and I want to share that with everybody else as well. So ultimately, that's why I'm here. I got engaged with Shop Beautiful via MedEffects a good couple of years ago now. And yeah, just excited to be bringing all these ranges to you in this way. Okay, so thank you for having me this evening. So yes, the questions I'm going to throw out to the group. I told you this would happen. Here she is. She's going crazy with the slides. What are the main concerns of skin aging? So there isn't a poll set up for this because I've just realized I forgot because this is a different webinar after the last one. So pop it in the chat for me. What are the main signs of skin aging? Let's have a little look at what you're going to say about this. Okay. Pop them in the chat for me, guys, so I can see. Main signs of skin aging. We've got fine lines. Perfect. Yeah. We've got wrinkles. Absolutely. Lines and wrinkles. 100%. Everyone keeps saying wrinkles. Sagging skin, yeah. Fine lines, pigmentation, absolutely. So you get your liver spots. A sagging sink. I'm not sure what that one is, Rachel, but I think I know what you meant. We've got dark spots, lack of tone. Yeah, that's a good one. So that's where you see the concern of elastosis. Wrinkles and pigmentation, jowls, yeah, pre-gel sulcus. So all of these things kind of equate to aging skin. So let's have a little look at my hands. Loss of volume, really good one as well. Loss of tone and fullness, yeah, absolutely. So malar fatty pads, we lose those and we start to get all that heaviness dropping down to the lower part of our face as well. Oh, what is going on tonight? So signs of skin aging, here are mine, so very similar to yours. Liver spots, so clients might call them liver spots, age spots, pigmentation, thin skin with increased opacity. So in English, please, it's late at night tonight, Annette. So thin skin, the skin will become more see-through, and you will potentially, in areas where the skin is more see-through around the eyes, be able to see the blood actually underneath. So that's why you can have dark circles underneath. You can see the blood vessels shining through. Lines and wrinkles, absolutely, that's down to collagen and elastin, which we're going to be covering a lot about this evening. And then we've got loss of volume as well. So we tend to see loss of volume around where we have fat pads. And the interesting thing is we have fat pads wherever we have some anatomy that we need to look after a little bit, really. So wherever we have a foramen is a hole in the skull where you've basically got nerves and blood vessels and all these things coming out of, okay? So wherever we have foramen that are needing to be protected, we have these fatty pads that sit over that area. And there's many reasons why these fatty pads can become depleted. Aging is a natural process. It is going to happen naturally. But some people, as we're going to come on to, if they have other intrinsic factors, which we are going to come on to, so someone who is an avid gym goer, they may have a low fat body fat ratio as well. And you will have that telltale sign. I can always tell somebody that is a runner when they come in to see me. I look at them, I can see the skin, I can see the loss of elastin. Obviously, you know, especially if they're doing long distance running, I can see straight away in their face as well. You may be able to too, when you think about it that way. Either way, we are seeing a loss of structure and a loss of function with skin aging. So how the skin works, okay, this is my favorite bit because every time I do this, it changes what I say. So even if you've seen this a couple of weeks ago, I'm still going to change how I talk about this. So that's good, okay? So how the skin works. So your client comes to you and they are, oh, my skin is just in a mess at the moment. I can't get on top of it. It's X, it's Y, it's Z. It's a very complex organ. It's the biggest organ of the human body, okay? It is there to protect. It is there to provide sensation because we can touch and feel with it. It's there to regulate heat. When we shiver, we are cold. That is our body trying to warm us up. When we are hot, we sweat. That is our body trying to cool us down. It also controls evaporation. So we need moisture in the skin, in this part of the skin, which is called the dermis. We need that moisture to keep everything functioning as it should. And we're going to come on to that a little bit later on. When we start to lose moisture because that structure, that function of the skin isn't as it should, then that's called transepidermal water loss. So we're losing that epidermal water and it's transient, it's moving up and it's moving up and out of the skin. In terms of storage and synthesis, so we will store things underneath the skin that we need in the nutrients and that we need to actually function properly. And we're also going to excrete the things that we don't want underneath the skin as well. So that is where, you know, helping boost that with your antioxidants and things, both what we eat and drink, but also what we apply on our skin helps make all the difference. And obviously we're on to absorption. So whatever we put on our skin is going to penetrate somewhat dependent on the size of that molecule. So the size of, you know, its basic chemistry, is it going to get underneath and into the skin and where it needs to be? It's also water resistant. So when the skin is functioning properly, it prevents this moisture from getting in and causing us problems as well. It's there for aesthetics and communication. And this is a big one. So your clients, so, you know, if you're thinking at the minute, what am I going to post about on social media? You know, I can't do my treatments. I've not got my before and afters. I hear you. It's a horrible, horrible time. I do sometimes sit there and think, oh, I would post another educative post. But you know what? It's going down a treat because I can see my analytics on Facebook and things are, you know, it's keeping me up there because I'm constantly educating my clients to how their skin works. And you can use all of these topics to educate your client as to how their skin is working. the biggest way to boost your clients' engagement is to use emotions, and aesthetics and communication is connected to our emotions. So if we are feeling rubbish about our skin, you know, it may be going through detriment because of the things that we're going to talk about in a minute, like the intrinsic and extrinsic effects. Maskne, all too common right now, but imagine that's making our clients feel. And imagine if they realize that it's actually something that we can help them with at this point in time, which we can. And that's where your home care and your products come in. So making sure you've got a good range and a good knowledge behind some really good brands and ranges that you can push out to your clients ethically, you will help connect to your clients at this time. And it's, you know, I've spent the best part of this morning with my online orders, and that speaks enough truth to me. So trust me, it works, it pays off, even though it's a rubbish time and some of us might be struggling for that motivation. Just, you know, just take a picture of this screen, the topics on there that you can talk about, and just go into a little bit more detail for your clients as well. I promise you it will help. I'm on the green tea. Right, this is where we practice technology. So I'm going to ask you the question about skin cell turnover time. This is for aging skin. Okay, so think about this a little bit for me. So what is the skin cell turnover time for aging skin? So not young, bouncy, normal skin, for aging skin. So we've got 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, and anybody that's unsure. If you are unsure, there's nothing wrong with that. If you get this wrong, you need to log off. I'm joking. You do not. This is why you are here. You are here to sit with me this evening and listen to me waffle on and hopefully take something away. Okay, so please do not worry if you were wrong. All right, I'm just waiting for a few more answers to come in. This is where I make sure that you are listening to me and you're not just got Netflix on in the background, as much as that's probably a little bit more interesting. But I think we're about there with the answers. I'll sign it off at that, I think. Okay, so let's end it and share. So we've got approximately 3 weeks. That's 4% of you have said. 4 weeks, 13%. I see why you've said that. The majority have said 6 weeks, and you are correct. So I've read in some places as well 6 to 8 weeks. So our general skin cell turnover is 28 days. So that's those of you that said 4 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks even, you know, you weren't far off, all right? But as we get older, my point here is that metabolism slows right down, okay? So it just slows down. So that skin cell turnover, which we rely on to bring new skin cells to the surface so the skin looks fresh, it will slow down ultimately, okay? Perfect. Let me get rid of that. So, oh dear, where are we? Oh, I forgot see, I've done that as well for when the poll was running and I forgot. This happened last time as well. Absolute nightmare. So skin cell turnover time. So we've got these dead skin cells that will delaminate. So they come off themselves. That happens naturally. But what we can do, obviously, with treatments when we're open again, like your peels, your microdermabrasion, we can encourage that skin cell renewal process. Even with vitamin A and retinols, we can encourage that process to speed up a little bit as well. But by keeping this area hydrated, that's going to happen in itself anyway. So just a few fun facts. I have changed these around a little bit from last week to make it a bit more interesting for some of you. The skin makes up approximately 12 to 15% of our body weight. The average person has 20,000 square centimeters of skin and 300 million skin cells. We shed around 700 grams of skin a year. There's no wonder I get through a Henry Hoover once a year at my clinic, and approximately 60,000 particles in 1 hour. And by age 70, we'll have lost almost 48 kilograms of skin. Each 3 centimeter square has approximately 10 hairs, 15 sebaceous glands. They're important for acne. That's tomorrow's workshop for you guys. A little plug there. 100 sweat glands and 100 centimeter of tiny blood vessels as well. So those blood vessels, you imagine they're going to bring the nutrients to the skin. So it's so important that we look after this vital organ. Okay, so, right, we're going to be talking about intrinsic aging process. So some of the reason our skin will ages, I can't get my words out. Some of the reasons our skin ages is inevitable. Okay, these factors are natural. They're also known as internal or intrinsic chronological aging. Okay, so biological age, there is nothing that we can do about that. There is nothing that we can do. We are naturally going to age. That is going to happen. What we can do, however, is help our skin with a preventative measure, and that's what we're going to come on to a little bit later on. but we naturally age generally. We can slow it down. We can potentially reverse it a little bit when you learn about the nature of the ingredients, but we are all going to naturally age biologically. Another intrinsic factor, so something that's going to affect you from the inside, is hormones. There's nothing that we can do about that either. Decreasing levels of estrogen, which is an instruction giving hormone, so it tells you what to do, results in that reduced messaging between the cells. So then we'll see less activity within the cells and less things going on. Another intrinsic thing to point out will be the likes of stress. Okay, so we don't realize there is so much that stress has an influence on the skin as well. We've got a blog, and I think we're going to be doing a webinar. I need your help at the end of this webinar actually for future topics, because I've been telling the guys at Shop Beautiful the sort of things I want to cover. So if I get a gauge behind that as well, then I can say, look, everybody wants it, and that's good. So stress has a massive impact on the skin as well, because again, it's that hormonal influence that it carries. A poorer blood supply to the skin will mean the delivery of nutrients and oxygen to the skin's surface is not working as well. Okay, so how will we get a poor blood supply to the skin? That may be from poor intrinsic habits, it may be from poor intrinsic health, and obviously the natural aging process that we've gone through. We're not using the correct products, we're not eating and drinking the right things, and we're not looking after ourselves. And obviously, if we are systemically unwell with things that are going on, then that will affect the blood supply to the skin as well. The radiance that is a feature of young skin will start to fade and skin becomes dull. And, that's when we need to intervene. If not, we have done already. Genetics also play a role in how the skin will age, and a phototype and skin type we are born with make a difference to how quickly we age. So this is where we think about the Fitzpatrick scale, so the skin types of Fitzpatrick. If you don't know what that is, then you need to have a little look into that. But the Fitzpatrick scale is a scale of skin from 1 to 6, and it will tell you on that scale, where you sit at. Those that are producers of more melanin, which we're going to come on to a little bit later on as well, you would tend to find that their skin, it still will age, but it doesn't age as quickly, because melanin is there as a defense mechanism. So those with sensitive and more fair skin, they're more likely to see that aging process. And this is just a guide. We're all going to age. There's nothing that we can do about that. And what we tend to find is those with a higher Fitzpatrick, so darker skin types, don't tend to age as quickly. Okay, and that's from experience with clients as well. So we're going to be thinking about external aging factors now. So these are things that are from the outside, so it's not something that's happening on the inside. So the epidermis is the outermost layer of the skin, and it acts as that barrier. We've learned about that in that very first slide. That's why I put it on there. It helps keep moisture in and protects your body from external toxins and agents that are going to cause upset underneath the skin. These new skin cells form with the innermost layer. So you remember that back on that diagram, that big juicy bit in the middle, that's where everything's made up. And they then work themselves up to the top to delaminate themselves once they die off. And that's obviously exfoliation or delamination, you may see it as well. As skin ages, its cell turnover slows. So we've learned that already. It's usually about 4 weeks, but 6 to 8 weeks as we get older. But at the same time, that production of sebum and hyaluronic acid, which is essential to keep the skin nice and plump as well. Okay, that will all slow down. The skin will become dry and rougher, and as a result, these fine lines and wrinkles will appear, which you've all said about in the chat as a sign of aging. Over time, the epidermis also becomes more sensitive to the sun's rays as well. And that is because we've not got that same protective mechanism that we first had, because of that overworked and underpaid, and we've not been looking after the skin. The skin will also become less efficient at healing itself, and a reduced immune function can lead to further skin infections and that slower wound healing. Another little thing to think about from the intrinsic point of view is slower wound healing that you might find from a hormonal influence as well. So that would be something that we'll cover on the maybe like a menopause webinar or something like that. That does it does have a big impact on the skin's health. Okay. But take away from this that, the reason the skin ages is it's either a combination of internal and external things that are going on. It could just be external things that are exacerbating that aging process, because they might have, you know, good skin health generally, or it could be a combination of the two. But it's pointless us recommending and doing these skin consults and doing these treatments if we've not addressed the fundamentals first. So if we've not talked about aggressor factors like smoking and poor diet, and not having the right intake of water, and they're not eating and drinking the right antioxidants, never mind what they're putting on the skin, then that's when, you know, it comes into play that, you know, we're not going to get the best results out of this. What I love about the NutraKOS brand, and we'll come on to this a little bit later on, but we think about the internal and the external factors. So that's why we have the supplement that we can recommend to our clients as well. So you see where I'm going with this, and why it's important to understand internal and external things that are going on. So this guy, you may have seen him already. So he's normally in the paper at least 2 or 3 times a year. So this was published in the Journal of Medicine. He was 69 years old. And this basically demonstrates how one side of his face aged significantly more than the other side. So he was a truck driver, and he had his left side exposed to UVA rays, which were transmitted through his window. So a lot of people say to me, oh yeah, I wear SPF in the summer when I go outside. These rays are constantly present around us. And not just that, but you've got, you know, the likes of the blue light from your phone. The first thing we do in the morning when we wake up is we pick up our phone, right? If we've not got the right things in, on and around our skin and body, it's going to start to have that negative effect on our skin as well. So this is where the free radicals are at play. So we're going to come on to what free radicals are in a moment. If you don't know already, don't panic. Don't think I've lost it, I don't know what she's talking about. Okay. Free radicals are basically cells that start to go off and be radical, like that music that we had on at the beginning, right? And do whatever they want to do because they're damaged. And they're damaged usually from an internal, so an intrinsic or an extrinsic factor. Okay, so something has made that cell not work as it should, and it goes around being a little bit crazy. So these free radicals are what we want to try and prevent. If we prevent and reduce the amount of free radicals, we're going to prevent and reduce the signs of aging. Fact. Okay, in a nutshell. Oh, hang on, what's going on here? Whew. Okay, so this is where we're on to the prevention side of things here. We've mentioned the sun's rays. They're the primary external cause of skin aging via oxidative stress. So what you're talking about now, Annette, okay? So every time there is some sort of damage to the skin, it creates something which we call reactive oxidative stress. So it's a reaction that oxidates stress underneath the skin, all right? And that is what's going to age the skin and cause us problems. Skin damage caused by the sun is known as photoaging. So we might have already used that term and use it quite often. And uneven pigmentation is one of the first visible signs of aging to appear. What's interesting is that pigmentation that comes through on, say, a 45, 50-year-old client could have potentially occurred when they were very, very young as well. So that's why prevention is key, and educating individuals to wear SPF from a young age will make an even, you know, more significant impact on their skin's health and obviously their systemic health as they get older as well. Air pollution. So this is another extrinsic factor because it's from the outside. It can trigger the release of skin damaging free radicals, what we've just been talking about. Pollution. So there is a such thing as city skin. So I see clients, you know, my clinic is in the countryside, but I do see clients that come and see me from the city, and I can see a distinctive difference between their skin. Those in the countryside have lathered in rosacea, they've got redness and dry skin and you know, lack of lipid barrier. And those from the city, dehydrated skin, literally mass buildup of dead skin cells, and we see it. I can see a significant difference between the two. Smoking, the chemicals and nicotine containing cigarettes will increase the number of free radicals, so these cells that go off doing what they want to do in the skin as well. And much like pollution, they'll also intensify the effects of sun exposure as well. Antioxidants, these are molecules with an ability to neutralize these free radicals. So remember, these cells that are going off, that have been damaged, they're going off to do what they want to do. How are we going to stop them from doing that? That is where we bring in the likes of antioxidants, okay? So they're going to stop that oxidative stress. It's an antioxidant. So they're going to go in and they're going to remove these free radicals that are causing all these problems. We're going to get that by topical application, so making sure we're using products that have contain something that have a known ingredient that does that acts as an antioxidant, but also from eating, you know, lots of antioxidant rich fruit and veg, and or thinking about supplements or things that we can recommend for their skin as well. Skin will age more quickly if it's not looked after properly, and that's something you can all educate your clients on as well. So this is a preventative factor here, and it's never, you know, it's never too early to start, and it's never too late to start either. And that's something, you know, clients might come in and say, oh, I just want Botox and filler, or I just want, you know, I just want you to do all your treatments on me because, you know, it's just too late for me and I can't do it. You know, it's really, really important we educate them to all of this. And, you know, it's really important that we make sure we've covered all of these factors to make sure that when we do put them on a good skin regimen and maybe potentially professional treatments, we've ticked all these off. Otherwise, you know, it's kind of catch-22. You're doing all these amazing treatments and using these amazing products, but you're going to get substandard results because we've not looked at these already. Okay, so this is where we need to educate our clients. Through thorough cleansing using gentle products appropriate for your skin type, together with regular application of products targeted at your primary concern, will help care for skin. So that's the message we want to deliver to our clients ultimately, in a nutshell. I don't know what's going on with this, it keeps ticking at me. There we go. So if you weren't ready now, then you need to be. So have a little sip of your drink. I'm going to do the same. This is green tea, full of antioxidants and great for the skin. Okay, so brace yourself. So this is what I feel like now, because I've got no hair extensions in, and this is an example of what I look like in the morning. This is Doc from Back to the Future, but this is what I feel like right now. But brace yourself. The reason I put this on here is because it is going to get a little bit heated in here now for the next 20 minutes or so. We are going to be covering a little bit more science behind this, and I think it's important that we do that. So take as much as you need from it. Don't overwhelm yourself with it. There is a blog that has been put on after the webinar I did 2 weeks ago. So, you know, maybe not tonight, maybe tomorrow, just bring it back up and just have a read of that as well. It's on the Shop Beautiful website, and it should hopefully start to sink into place for you a little bit when we're talking about these factors. All right. Now you're thinking, oh my God, I know what she's talking about now. Yes, I always cringe at pictures like this. It reminds me of like GCSE biology and stuff that I never used to listen in. But now I love it because it's just, I'm just a skin geek. And I think that's why you're here this evening as well. So amino acids, they are organic compounds, okay? There's about 500 naturally occurring amino acids, although around about 20 will appear in our genetic codes. They are a monomer that are a makeup of proteins, okay? So we know what a protein is, and we know that an amino acid is made up of proteins. They join together to form a short polymer chain. So you think of a chain of proteins, and these are what are called peptides. So now you're thinking, I've seen products with peptides in, I've seen products with amino acids in. It's starting to make a bit of sense now as well. These longer chains are called polypeptides. Why? Because they might have more than 5. So what's a polygon? You know, it starts to sink in a little bit the more you do this, trust me. Or proteins, when they have a chain of over 50 amino acids. So you go from a polymer, which is a peptide, then you've got your polypeptide, which is slightly longer, then you've got your proteins that are even longer than that, okay? Perfect, still with me. So the human body needs around about 20 different amino acids to grow and function properly. Of those 20, 9 of them are called essential amino acids. Okay, so there's 9 that are essential. You can see the name of them on there. I don't need to read them all out for you, not at this time of night, especially with a fixed appliance in, some lisping as it is already. All amino acids are required for body growth, and since essential amino acids cannot be synthesized within the body, they have to be provided from outside. So that's why we're relying on what we eat and drink and what we're applying onto our skin. Interestingly enough, they account for 30 to 40% of essential amino acids, and that's your valine, your leucine, and your isoleucine. There's a reason that we've highlighted those for you just now. So far, the approach of improving the quality of this bit here, this dermis, okay, has always been on how to improve the proteins in the dermis, which is great. We know that proteins are the building blocks of life. How many times have we heard that? I know when I've, started a new PT or a new obsession, they always talk to me about proteins and protein shake, and you're thinking, oh, but they taste so disgusting. But anyway, so, proteins are the building blocks of life. So proteins, we know, are needed for this to function properly. But what these guys have done is unlocked like a significant lock and key theory. So the right type and amount of proteins that actually make an impact on the skin's health. So I've got another poll for you guys just now, and this is on fibroblasts. So let's have a look and find that now. Okay, so I want to just test your knowledge a little bit. So a fibroblast is responsible for introducing fiber into the extracellular matrix, making glutathione, damaging collagen and elastin, producing collagen and elastin, or producing multiple components within the extracellular matrix. Just want to gauge what, and again, you know what, if you get this wrong, I've done a few little tricky nasties in there, but I just want to see where we're at with this, okay? I just want to see, and if you get it wrong, that's why you're here, okay? So that is why you are here this evening, so please don't worry. I'm just waiting for some more answers to come through. Okay, so fibroblast, what is it responsible for? We need some music, don't we, out of, I don't know, Wheel of Fortune or something. Okay, just waiting on a few more answers coming through. Perfect. Right, I'm going to end it there. There's still a couple coming through, but we'll be here all evening. What are you doing? Are you eating at the same time? I wish I was. Right, so let's have a look then. So it is anonymous. I know we can see what anybody said. So a little bit of a trick, fibroblast, that was me being nasty. Introducing fiber into the extracellular matrix, that is incorrect. Making glutathione, nobody's said that, which is good. Damaging collagen and elastin, 5% of you have said that. Producing collagen and elastin, 68% of you have said that. And again, producing multiple components within the extracellular matrix was the answer I was looking for. However, it does produce collagen and elastin, so I've been a bit mean there. So really, these bottom two were right, but they produce multiple components within the extracellular matrix. So they really are the cells that we want to regenerate and look after, okay? So when we talk about a specific approach, this is the way that Prof Diuretics have done things, and NutraKOS have done it. They've made a specific approach to target this fibroblast, which is responsible for producing multiple components, not just collagen and elastin, multiple components within the extracellular matrix. For those of you that got that wrong, I'm sorry I put that fiber one in just to throw you. But as I say, this is why you are here this evening, so that's good. So a non-physiological stimulation can lead to stress and exhaustion of the fibroblast. So remember, external and intrinsic factors can upset this fibroblast so it's not doing what it wants to do anymore, okay? Exhaustion, it's not going to do what it's going to do. Research and development is now focusing on this extracellular matrix, which is within the dermis here, and how to regenerate it through a perfectly physiological process. So we're providing specific ingredients, that precise mix to actually get what we want out of this. And primarily it's new and young fibroblasts, because we now know that they are super savvy, and they will go around doing lots and lots for our extracellular matrix of this live part here and get it doing what it needs to do. And now we start to have the spinning skin. It's late as ever. Right. So this slide video, sorry, really just helps me gauge what's going on a little bit, because when we start to see things as an animation, your head just goes, right? So we've dissected, we're underneath the skin now. We've got our fibroblasts, we've got our elastin fibers, and we've got our collagen, okay? So as you can see, as we age, our collagen starts to break down, our fibroblasts start to slow down. But if we put the right ingredients in, these fibroblasts start to create new collagen fibers. It works with the elastin, it multiplies the elastin, and we start to generate these new collagen and elastin fibers that are better structured, better functioning, and doing what they once did, okay? that is if we're putting the right consistency and the right fuel in there. We'll start to build these multiple super strong collagen and elastin fibers. And as you can see, with the right ingredients in there, that will have an impact on the skin. It will improve collagen production, elastin production, and you can see the effect that it's going to have on the skin. It's going to smooth and plump everything out. I love that video. Okay, it is just off YouTube, and I found it, but it is a fantastic. For me, it was that pivotal point, because I really struggle with animations and flat pictures, and to see it like that, hopefully it's helped more of you guys as well, and it will continue to do so. So now you're thinking, why has she got a fish tank on here? Because she's lost the plot. No, she hasn't actually. Turn the sound off because it goes blob blob. So extracellular matrix. So that bit you've just watched the video of with all the strands and everything like that, that's your extracellular matrix, your dermis. That's what's going on inside there, your tissue mass, okay? The function of the extracellular matrix, or ECM, please let me call it that for short, is to provide support and anchorage for cells. So it keeps everything functioning as it should. It regulates and determines dynamic behavior. So the behavior within the cells relies on everything in there doing what it should do as well. It's going to help growth, it's going to help repair, and it's going to help maintain the structure. So growth, health, and maintenance, all right? The way I think of it as a fish tank was taught to me by one of the other trainers at MedFX, and I've never forgotten it because it just stuck in my head. And I use this analogy a lot with my clients as well. If we think about the extracellular matrix as a fish tank, we've got our water in there, which is your hyaluronic acid. We've got our collagen and elastin fibers, which is your plants, and you've got your fish. Your fish are your fibroblasts. So those cells that we've just learned do everything. We know that fishes help keep tanks healthy. Okay, it works exactly the same way when it comes to skin. So if we leave that fish tank and do nothing to it at all, then it's going to start to degenerate. We're going to lose that moisture. The plants, the collagen, the elastin are going to die off, as are the fibroblasts. If we put moisture back in the tank, so we top that water up, and we use obviously something that's HA enriched, hyaluronic acid enriched. We put some collagen food in there, or the plant food, and we put the fish food in there as well. It's going to feed the fibroblasts. So we've got specific food for the plants, specific food for the fish. Do you see where I'm going with this? And this, again, it was taught to me in a very similar way, and I was like, oh my God, I get it, I'm there. So hopefully some of you this evening are thinking, right, okay, yes, I know now that we've got to put these specific things in there to get something out. You know, we only get out what you put back in. And that's the truth of it, really. Everything needs a certain ingredient to work in the best way that it can. And that's what these guys have unlocked, which I am very excited about in more ways than one. So another poll, just to make sure you're still with me. And you are still with me, some of you. This is on human disease. Let's launch the poll. So the percentage of human disease caused by that extracellular matrix that we just learned about in the skin, and obviously any tissue mass not functioning properly. So what is the percentage of that? Is it 30? Is it 50? Is it 70? Or is it 90? Excellent. So we've got some varied answers. That's good. Again, if you get this wrong, please don't worry. It is anonymous, so don't worry about putting, you know, what you think and just having a good guess. That's what it's about. So the percentage of human disease caused by that extracellular matrix not functioning properly, I'm just going to end it there and share, is indeed 70%. So those of you that said 50, safe bet, I get why you've done that. Those of you that said 90, just a little bit off there. It's around about 70%. And obviously those of you that said 30, nothing wrong with that, is the wrong answer. But obviously in terms of, you know, it is a mass proportion of human disease that is caused by that extracellular matrix not functioning properly. So around 70% of human diseases are caused by that dysregulation. For the skin, one of the effects of the loss of extracellular matrix homeostasis, so that extracellular matrix, that bit underneath the skin not functioning properly, the cause of that will be aging. Okay, so that's why we see aging skin. That extracellular matrix isn't functioning properly. Why? Is because we've got a reduction in the number of fibroblasts, which are there to create more than just collagen and elastin, but they do, primarily create that. And that is why we see less collagen, less elastin, and we've got that loss of hydration as well. So what is needed to get that functioning properly? Okay, we know this really, but do we know specifically? Well, we didn't until recently. So we know we need hyaluronic acid, so hydration underneath the skin. Hyaluronic acid in its smallest form. Hyaluronic acid that we just pop on the top of the dead skin, that's not going to get underneath the skin. That's what we need to be wary of. These adverts that they see, over-the-counter products and things that they can potentially purchase, we need to think about the molecular weight of them and how is that product going to get underneath the skin. Specific amino acids. So can you remember the amino acids? They're these proteins that are going to feed the fibroblasts. So it's this specific food to wake up this cell to produce collagen and elastin. And it's only certain amino acids, so it's only certain food that this fibroblast is going to like. So that's why we need to make sure that we've got this right with the products that we're using and recommending. So those of you that offer injectables, then there is the NutraKOS injectable range, which is incredible. I absolutely love NutraKOS. It's an absolutely amazing product. What we're here this evening about is the NutraKOS range, which is something that you can recommend to complement the NutraKOS and or completely on its own, okay? So it's on its own level in terms of skincare. So the first product we're going to talk about is the post-peeling balm. The balm I've actually recommended a few times in the last few weeks as a repair balm as well. So it's there to use after a peel, which can obviously, as we know, cause the skin to become quite dry. What I found, a few people who have got the winter skin woes, not been looking after the skin properly, we've actually needed something like this just to kind of get things working as it should again. So if we look at the ingredients in it just briefly, because again, I'd rather you understand the aging process. That's why I've spent more time, I've just spent the last 40 minutes giving you that education behind aging skin, because to me, you can then nitpick out of this the sort of things and the products that we've been chatting about that make a difference. So keywords: hyaluronic acid and glucosamine, NAG, is a compound that's found within our skin, and it increases HA, so it increases that hydration and that production of the hydration underneath the skin. It's going to help repair sun damage, and it's going to tone the skin and hydrate the skin, which is going to help the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles as well. Hyaluronic acid, as you know, those of you that have seen me before, and I always talk about it, I live and breathe this product into my clients' routines. Okay, 85% of it within the NutraKOS and the NutraKOS range is low density, so that means that amount of it is actually getting underneath where it needs to be, and that's really important. Vitamin E and CoQ10 are fat soluble, and they're an essential nutrient for that anti-inflammatory property. Okay, so it's going to help with the process of inflammation that may have occurred because of damage to the skin. And remember that very first slide and the function of it and how it should work. We need to address that first and foremost, replacing that lipid barrier. Rosacea sufferers, this is a great product for as well, I've found, as is NutraKOS. Vitamin E helps support the immune system, cell function, and skin health. And then we've got Q10, which has gone around and zap up these free radicals. Yeah, remember me talking about these? And that's going to help you age a little bit slower. So your consumer product range. So what we can focus on right now while the clinics are closed are these sort of products that we can think about. And there's lots and lots to choose from. You can do them as a package, or you can do them as individual. Obviously, there's a reason they're all created in coalition, because they work really well together. That said, if you've got somebody that's just after a good quality eye cream, eye and lip cream, you can bring their eye gel into it. If you've got someone that is more, you're more concerned about, they want some sort of collagen supplement, then you've got something that you can offer them as well. They want that deep hydration, we've got the mask. So let's have a little look in more detail. The important thing to remember, right, is these amino acids. If you remember these amino acids that we talked about being proteins that help make up the extracellular matrix, so the collagen, the elastin, and everything that functions within our skin. So this specific amino acid combination within the NutraKOS brand and range is exactly this. So we know it's that tailored fuel to allow that fibroblast to do what it needs to do. Okay, if it's not given the right food, it's not happy and it isn't going to do what it needs to do. This is what these guys have unlocked. So you've got your amino acids relevant to collagen, your amino acids relevant to elastin, your prosynthetic amino acid for your leucine, which is primarily fibroblast fuel, and you've got your HA, which is your main component of any connective tissue. Remember that 85% of that HA is what's going to penetrate and get underneath into the dermis as well. It's there to stimulate these fibroblasts. We now all know what a fibroblast is going to do. It's going to help build these components back into the extracellular matrix, so get everything working as it should. It's going to regenerate these new young fibroblasts and produce a mix of collagen, to include collagen type 4 as well. So we've got lots and lots of different types of collagen. Type 2 and type 4 are the primary ones within our skin. And what we do know is this ingredient will help produce those. So HA, hyaluronic acid, is found naturally in our body. It's all, you know, we've got it within us already, okay? It's what supports the dermis. It provides moisture. It provides that plumping efficacy as well, all right? We know of HA in dermal filler, but it's cross-linked. Body doesn't recognize it. So when we're using HA in our products, we need to ensure it's the right size, the right molecular size to get underneath the skin. If we think back to that first diagram of the skin, we can see how far it's got to get underneath. You know, HA is used quite often in products as a transporter as well, to get other really good juicy ingredients underneath. And that's how these guys use it in there as well. So they use it for that moisture retention underneath the skin, but they also use it to transport these amino acids and these goodies that are going to feed our fibroblasts. So we're always now going to be thinking about things differently and starting from the inside. We're going to think about that intrinsic point of view, hopefully. And with that in mind, we need to be able to promote something with confidence. And we have our evidence-based NutraKOS drinkable. So you've got these 6 amino acids. So that's 6 amino acid formula that I've just shown you. These 6 amino acids within here, okay? These are for healthy nails and hair, skin, hair and nails. So anybody that's wanting a bit of a pick-me-up, this is your go-to. Really, really good product. I've just ordered mine today for the next month as well. So this is something that I'm kickstarting myself. And again, we've got the efficacy, we've got the trials behind it, so we know we have confidence with these products that we're recommending. We also saw within the study that extra action that we found on the scalp as well. So we were seeing that regenerative factor of the, you know, the hair from the scalp from the use of this product as well. So multifactorial for any of you guys in the hair and beauty industry is definitely something you want to think about having to recommend to your clients. This is what I'm talking about in terms of that low molecular weight hyaluronic acid. In English, it means if that particle is too big, it's not going to get underneath the skin where it needs to be. And it pains me, but a lot of the time these clients come and they have an online consultation with me and they will say, oh yeah, I'm using this product, it's this, and I've spent this much on it. And I know that there is no chance that that's getting anywhere near where it needs to be. It's just going to fluff up the top, that dead skin, those layers of dead skin. It's going to feel nice, it's going to feel like it's doing something, but it isn't active skincare and we've not got the evidence behind it. So amino acids, water and some sugars are the only elements that can penetrate the cellular membrane. Okay, so these amino acids that we're talking about will get down underneath. It's a small protein and it can easily penetrate. And this hyaluronic acid is used as that transporter to get it where it needs to be as well. Okay, so that's small, low weight molecular HA. So we've got our face cream. So our face cream is those 3% of those specific amino acids that we've just been talking about, HA and calcium ketogluconate. So we know what HA is, that's your transporter. We know these amino acids are going to wake these fibroblasts up and get them to do what they need to do. The calcium ketogluconate is ideal for use in anti-aging and mature skin products, and it's a firming agent, so it's going to make the skin feel nice and firm. So that's your cream. So I'd recommend, this is your SPF 15. So I would still be advising with my hat on an SPF on top of this if they're wearing this as a day cream, because that SPF isn't quite enough. There's a reason behind the guys have chose to do that. But again, it's something that I would advocate a slightly higher SPF personally. The serum is 4%. So the cream is okay for all skin types. apart from those with oily skin. So what you can do with the serum is layer it on top of the one I've just shown you. But anybody with oily skin, I'd just go straight with the serum. They're not going to like the texture of that moisturizer on there. Okay. See that word peptide, tetra, okay? You're getting me now, aren't you? We're there. Excellent. Hopefully you are. So you've got your HA as your transporter, your peptide, which is a sequence based on the skin's own structure. Okay, so it's helping repair the skin from the inside. You've got these amino acids for fibroblast stimulation. So this is your go-to for oily skin. 4% amino acids, or you can layer this up with the moisturizer as an intensive anti-aging treatment as well at home. So they'd put the I would say the serum on first and the moisturizer on afterwards. We've then got the amino acid eye serum. You can use this on lips as well. You can double it up. So you've got your 4% amino acid HA, and again your tetrapeptide. Anything that you're putting on the eyes, usually, you can use it around the lips, and we should be. It's an area that we forget all too often. Around the eyes and around the lips is the areas that we see elastosis first. Elastosis is where the elastin is not functioning as it should, and that's why we start to see sagging skin. Okay, so eyes and lips, we really, really need to look after. And obviously this is peri-orbitally friendly, so it has that ophthalmic tick, so we can use it around the eye as well with confidence. It's going to help prevent bags and dark circles. It's going to help reduce puffiness, and it's going to tone the eye area and contour the eye area as well. These are fab. I love these at the minute. This is like my little go-to. Super, super hydrating. These are 4% amino acids and HA acid. They've also got that fruit acid complex, so that's that brightening property that's going to bring. It's a bit of an enzymatic process and a bit of a peeling agent underneath there as well. So use it weekly or when in need of that hydration boost. Okay, so this is really nice to be, that lockdown skin, that I can't have professional treatments. What can I be having done? These are great as a go-to for that. Again, your amino acids for fibroblast stimulation to wake up your collagen, your elastin, amongst other things. And your HA is there as your transporter and hydration. So your fruit acids, your acid complex, again, that peeling agent, and that's what's going to create that brighter skin complex after use. Your body cream. I've used this on a few clients that have come to me with teens that have got pre-pubescent or post-pubescent stretch marks. Really, really nice results. I've also used this on an individual that was just, I've used it on a couple that had been pre and post-menopausal. So obviously we're going to cover this in another webinar, but the effects of menopause on the skin can be very detrimental. And this is a great little go-to. So you've got your 2% specific amino acids, your hyaluronic acid, and shea butter. So shea butter has great anti-inflammatory properties and these healing properties as well. So it's not, it's not your go-to for those stretch marks that have been there forever and a day, but those early onset ones, maybe it's something you could recommend, to those sort of clients that you're thinking about, that they could have a good result from, because it did with mine. An important point to remember, as always, with any products, quiz them. Quiz these people that are trying to sell you these products. What's the molecular weight of that hyaluronic acid? How is it going to get to where it needs to be? We need to make sure that it's low density so it can penetrate the skin. Hyaluronic acid is great for moisture, but it's also an amazing antioxidant. Okay, so it's really, really good at flushing out the skin and removing those impurities that are causing us problems underneath the skin as well. So it's got a two-prong attack there. We are nearly there, guys, I promise. I can hear my husband banging the knife and fork downstairs as well. So tomorrow, I'm here tomorrow again, and I'm here on Wednesday as well. So tomorrow I have action on acne, so I look forward to seeing more of you in there. You are more than welcome to log on and register for that. It is on the Shop Beautiful website, or it should be. If not, you can obviously drop me a message on Skin Smile Success, but it should be on their Instagram as well, and you'll be able to access it. There is a blog that I've put on there already from the last webinar that I did on NutraKOS, so you can check out that, and it will start to hopefully sink in a little bit more. And we've got a new anti-aging blog that's going to be going on in the next 24 hours that I've sent in, which is really, really robust. Lots of information in there for you as well. Because if you're anything like me, we watch something, we read something, we watch something again, you'll pick up snippets and it will start to put that jigsaw back together. And, you know, you'll come out of this lockdown completely confident and super savvy with not just products, but information as well. And that's really important. So what can you be doing now to correct? Some of you are sat thinking, right, okay, I love the idea. That's great. Amazing. Yeah, these products sound good, but I can't sell them. Yes, you absolutely can. Free virtual skin consultations for clients. Why not? Okay, if you understand how their skin is, you can look at pictures, you can gauge things, you can ask them questions, you can do that investigative work, you can work out what is going on with their skin, just like you would if you're in clinic with them. Okay, you can offer that skin consultation for clients. Home care is so important. This image that you see, this was home care, just home care. I think there was one peel that we did, but this was primarily home care. Absolutely massive, massive difference, massive impact. Okay, give them tutorials on how to understand their new products. Give them education, educate them to the fact that they can make a difference with their skin at this point in time as well. Educational content post. So this is something again that I want to bring to you guys. So I have got a final poll. So don't shoot off just yet, because this is one that I want to take the guys at Shop Beautiful for what we can do next. So all my webinars that I'm doing with these guys do have a blog that follows on afterwards. So keep an eye out for that. And you're welcome to take snippets from it and share it with your clients. You're welcome to just share it to your clients. What I would suggest is putting your own take on it. Take bits of it and dissect it and make it from you and deliver it from you to your clients. It will make a difference. Those of you in skincare, if you haven't done this accreditation already, where have you been? Okay, so this is an online accreditation for skin cancer and melanoma. If you want to learn a little bit more about that, you can visit the MaskEd site here or ask me any questions that you might have. So I'm going to close with the final poll and have a little look at the questions. I've just seen that that's still been on the screen. I'm sorry for that if it was blocking your view. Hopefully you got rid of it. Silly me. Future webinar titles. There's loads that I literally just thought of this afternoon. Well, there's some that have been in the pipeline anyway, but just have a little read through. If there's any that really stick out, then vote for them. But if you scroll down, there's a little bit where it says all of these at the bottom. You might be one of those. I'm hoping you are, because there's so much I want to share with you guys. But now I can see straight away people want to know more about retinol. Yeah, 100%. Retinol, retinaldehyde, vitamin A. What are you talking about? All of that. We can make sense of this and make sure we understand that. We're going to talk about retinol a bit tomorrow on the acne workshop. And again, we've not covered retinol tonight. With the NutraKOS range, it's not really relevant. I've found that we've had some really nice results without it. So yeah, this is great. This is giving me evidence to the guys. We want to get some information out to you. So thank you for filling that in. So let me have a look at the Q&A. Yes, Gemma, do you recommend an SPF on top of the post peel balm as it's only SPF 15? So those of you that know me, I would always recommend minimum of 30. There's a reason why the guys have the 15. But I would always recommend a 30 for my clients. Okay. And, if it's the post peel balm and they're using it as a repair balm, it's something that I'd be recommending to wear in an evening. It's really, really moisturizing, and it is going to help replenish that lipid barrier overnight as well. Yeah, that's fine, Gemma. Thank you very much for that. That's good. That was a good question. So I hope you have been sharing lots and lots of pictures and posts this evening and tagging us all in. I can't wait to put my phone up and have a look through and scroll up and down and see them all on there. Because one of you lucky guys tonight, not only have you gone away full of information, but you're also going to get one of the NutraKOS full packages of all the bits and bobs for you to try. It's up to you whether you give that away to your clients, but I would suggest keep it and get your skin feeling amazing, because you are going to love it. I love the masks, like literally. The eye cream's great for the lips as well. But the masks are one of my favorites, and my clients love them too. So definitely do give it a go. The products are available on both Shop Beautiful and MedFX, depending on where you've got an account and whom with. And I do hope you join us on our future workshops that we have coming up. And you've told me what you want to see coming up, so that's really good. Okay. Thank you for joining me this evening. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it was a little bit different to the one that I did a couple of weeks ago. There's always new things that go in. It just comes out of my mouth, just waffle, just comes out. I do hope you've enjoyed this evening. I've just realised as well, I've had no eyelashes on today, so I'll probably look like I'm half asleep. You maybe not be able to see me because of the light, but never mind. But yes, I'm back to sticking strip lashes on every morning at the minute, just to make myself look a little bit more awake for these videos and stuff that I'm filming. But no, thank you so much for joining me this evening. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you do have any questions, do reach out to me. I'm always here. Thank you for joining me, and I look forward to hearing and seeing more of you very, very soon, and hopefully some of you tomorrow evening. And we're going to be covering acne, all things acne. Okay, take care guys, and thank you very much. Bye bye.